2 days are going to be kind of nice, and then I got to go down and pick up that other cooler, and get it prepped, and get it up on the roof before next weekend because it's going to be hot. Don't want Dad to be real uncomfortable. So, money, guys, you guys are so stupid. The one thing that's most interesting about the apocalypse, well, not interest, well, yeah, I guess I could say interesting. Is it disturbing or interesting? Probably both. We're globally connected. This is worldwide, and you have all these people claiming, it's big corporate genocide operations, to maintain positions of human delusion and power and authority, and no one is honest or truthful or faithful at all, you know. And they had this video on YouTube thing about, before the Big Bang, there was this, and it's like, okay, guess against. It doesn't matter if they think I'm wrong about all the science shit, and they're right. I don't think about science shit. I think about understanding eternity with humility, and then not trying to grasp the infinite with the finite, and then living beautiful, holy covenants throughout eternity, because it's a precious gift. If you know what life is worth, you look for years on earth, now you see the light, stand up for your right? So that's the way I am. I don't have a sick bone in my body that causes people to be sick and reproduce cancer cells because they're being tortured by perverts, right? And the way cancer works is it, like we talked about it earlier, it's not something to be afraid of and think, oh, this is horrible, what's happening to my body, this horrible disease. It's not the disease. It's the selfishness of human beings. They're the disease. Okay. The cancer cell is just doing what the cancer cell does to show mercy to people because of the torture from perverts. Okay. So don't blame cancer for what perverts are doing with money and corporations and corporate greed and corporate manipulation and feeling powerful, manipulating people, and it's gross. It's utterly disgusting, and I have no fear of the medical industry, the NASA, the cancer industry, none of them. No fear of them at all. I don't like being abused by them anonymously, or, well, somewhat anonymously. And I don't like it. I don't like going up to everybody and saying, hey, stand up for the Lord's Prayer, and them agreeing with me, and then nobody doing a goddamn thing but me. Hate that. But it makes you understand why, the people on TV cheering, economics are not the guy from the book of Revelation, and I am. So it makes perfect sense. And people doing advertising and doing all this acting, and it's horrible, They're more concerned about delivering and receiving boxes than they are restoring the ecosystem through, share, care, given, coins, need, built to last, living proverbs. And, it's hard. And, I was there, trying to go to a celebration for my one sister for her mom's life, and then the other sister says, you should have showed up for Dad's birthday party. You would have had a good time enjoying everybody, talking to everybody there. So I didn't want to go talk about basketball and online shopping. I want to talk about everybody living the Lord's Prayer, and I'm not allowed to do that. Last 2 Christmases ago, I got told I can't show up if I talk about that again. I'm like, and you guys are supposed to be Christians, And I got told by your son who works at White Sands with your husband, that, okay, you're going to be dead by the time we're living the Lord's Prayer, and you're not going to be able to enjoy it, Earl. So I put in all the work. But that's, life's eternal and grace is infinite. If they take this beautiful body and they murder it, so you don't get to enjoy living the Lord's Prayer on planet Earth, it's like life's eternal and grace is infinite. You don't have faith in God at all, do you? Okay. If the people that hate the Messiah murder him and then try to eradicate any physical temples for him to enjoy living the Lord's Prayer on earth, how are you enjoying living the Lord's Prayer if you take the Messiah and murder him and then say we're going to live the Lord's Prayer now after we've murdered the Messiah and say we did it and he didn't? And that's not true. You guys are commercials. All these people thinking they're 60 saying, buy my deodorant, buy this, buy that. See how sexy I am? It's Magnum and Blue Still at the same time. Is there more to life than being really, really ridiculously good looking? Right? Is that John Starks? It is. Oh, there's a commercial with two current Nugget Knicks hiking with a past Nick. Yeah. And then there's Patrick Ewing on the phone. Yeah. When the connection matters. Okay, but are you guys living the Lord's Prayer? So, yeah, you apply it in physics, it's perfect. Forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. I'm the only one that remembers or do. I'm constant. Star of David. I'm the heart of David. The Ark of the Covenant, the proper heart. If you're not getting up every day and focus, that's all you live for, that's all you want to do is deliver us from evil with the Lord's Prayer, and then live the faith of Psalms and saying it with the wisdom of Proverbs, then you're just a sick person. If you're getting all excited, dancing around, I'll watch basketball, because I like basketball, but you can't enjoy basketball because of the economics. Okay. Economics gets people mass murdered. Economics gets people raped to death from brothels because of bad science projects. They explained that to me in Sierra Vista right off the bat when they came and exposed themselves to me. What about you? Okay, son of a bitch. Yeah, they're horrible human beings. Okay. And trust me, life's eternal and grace is infinite. They know it. Okay, they're the eagle guy from the cartoon with Captain Kirk on, when he doesn't want to end war because it's part of their culture or whatever and stuff. It's like, oh, God damn. Sorry, I possessive pronoun down. Okay. I was raised in the United States of America. But, this will be, the whole, you ever heard Last Time by David Gates and Brett? This is the last time that I will say goodbye. You say it doesn't mean nothing, but this is gonna be the last time. This is the last time you guys will be able to, read prophecy and then follow and compete and compare and torture and kill and replace the Messiah with your ego, because your technology is just no. It's Jeff Hinton talked about, it's going to become supremely intelligent. They've talked about that a lot. And Judah Krishnamurti talked about, no, supreme intelligence. He said the one thing they can't fuck up is the origin of all things. And that's basically saying, don't you have faith in God? Well, have faith in Joe. And that's true. The one thing they cannot fuck up is the origin of all things. They blow up the planet, the universe, supernova, black hole, and stuff like that. But there will still be what they perceive as, eternal forms of evolution through an infinite essence that can get back to, hey, BRLFQ spells mom and dad. That ain't too bad. Or that's my boy, And so, selfish people are never content or happy with the beauty of gifts. They always got to make it better because it's got to be about them and not about the glory of God. And so they're horrible human beings. And I didn't realize how horrible they were. I thought, I keep, me every day. Each out in touch, somebody tan, make this world a better place if you can. And it's just, no, they don't show up. I didn't know you guys could be so just disgusting. But, when I got to deal with Miss Amy and she talks me through and she explains to me, why didn't you do this? We would have got that. It's like, no, Amy, manipulated relationships don't work. I'm right on that one. Okay. And I understand that women were 12 and 13 for years and wanted to be with the best guy and reward him through having kids through him because he's the best man. I understand that. Okay. But that was a science project by a bunch of perverts that wanted to replace me as the best man and manipulated the sexuality to the point where it was just extremely difficult and heinous. So they tried to bombard us back into a cave in the Stone Age. And I knew that every time I went. It's like they keep doing all this biblical stuff like Lot and his daughters. And it makes no sense whatsoever. Of course it doesn't make any sense. You're talking about egomaniacs. They never make any sense. And so it was very difficult. So, and I tried to explain to Amy, you're not a horrible person. You're not a monster. And the things that happened, were not of your design and not of your making. They would not have happened if people had accepted the perfection of the Lord's Prayer year one, but they didn't. And they didn't do it when Muhammad redeemed the Gospels during the time of his life, which is, the writing down of the Holy Quran, the redemption of the Gospels of Muhammad. And they didn't do it during the Bible, the redemption of the Gospels during the New Testament during Jesus, and they didn't do it with David. And they keep, they keep going, they keep missing the mark. They keep going, I'm going to be, I'm God. It's like, you asshole, you're not God. Okay? You are not an omniscient, omnipotent essence of all things. You don't know everything. You're not the origin of everything. And even when you cannot place human traits and a brain on God. Okay? That's egotistical expression that destroys the whole essence of your creation by trying to replace it with your own invention, with your own perspective. You're a sick fuck. Okay? Tell me one more time what was there before the Big Bang, you rotten little philosophy piles of shit. Okay? I don't think anybody's going to cry when technology kills you. But you know how many people cried Jim Caviezel pretending to be like me in a spiritual temple at a movie theater? But with you and Emily with Ted Neely, right? But nobody, I don't want people crying for me. They won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer. I don't like them. Okay. I love them. I don't like them. Okay. Don't cry for me, Argentina. You're such a mean jerk. I'm a mean jerk. I'm getting my balls rotted off for correcting military, corporate, disgusting stuff. Cloning. I am fixing the most disgusting, selfish stuff in the history of the world on a daily basis on a Samsung Galaxy 10 just outside of Las Cruces, New Mexico, where they threaten to blow up the entire world with nuclear weapons if they can't put a new press box with luxury boxes on the Aggie Memorial Stadium. Go ahead, but, money ain't real. And ain't them dogs' real voices, Okay. Homeward bound, I wish I was. Home. Home is living the perfection of the Gospels with faithful people. Okay. Home is living the perfection of the Gospels with faithful people, not some nerdy-looking brown dude dipping his French fries in a Frosty. Homie. Okay, and a cocky other motherfucker is sitting there dunking and saying, hey, challenge me to dunk contest. And then dumbass fucking Shaquille O'Neal selling products for a corporation because how much money does it cost to fuck? Right? And this kid from Yukon right there, he's a millionaire. He doesn't worry about, that's just to make it look like he cares about all you people that aren't millionaires. Because you're going to get $3,000 because you got 3 kids and you're on welfare, right? They get more than that? You got 1 kid and you're on welfare. 2? I don't know how. Yeah, I don't play with numbers to fuck people in the head. I didn't run for president. I'm neither a Bush, nor an Obama, nor a Biden, nor a Trumpy, not me. Go get your great clips on, right? I just take out the clipper and it off until further notice. I don't worry about growing my hair long again and stuff like that. It's like that whole thing with, the guy who, it's all seems perfectly grisly, taking the artery from the British kid's leg and putting it in the American chapter and then saying he might have the propensity to want to drive on the other side of the road. Is that my father lost both his legs in the Great War and said he never missed them. It saved him years on his life not having to tie his laces, right? So, shaving my head, saves a lot on shampoo. Saves me a lot on styling and waking up my hair being, this way or not looking right and stuff like that. So, as far as vanity goes, you think I'm a nasty Earl. It was good to go. I don't mind shaving it no more. I like my hair. And I liked it when I had long hair. But the older I get and the more abused I get and the more I look like Uncle Fester's cousin and have the psoriasis and stuff and all the stuff from chemicals coming out of my body and making the dead cells itch and irritate, which makes sense if you 1 and 1 is 2, right? Don't even have to go to medical school. Yeah, I could figure that one out. Okay. You put poison in a river and people drink the water and then they get sick and die. Then what happens? You open up a hospital and call it an emergency room and hire George Clooney and Noah Wiley. What about Eric LaSalle? Oh, he's still selling Jerry Curl juice. He's still got a Jerry Curl? Get out of here, really? No, he never had one. I think that was a wig, y'all. But These fuckers are just crazy. Yeah, it's nice because I don't have to meet any of these celebrities. You know, I don't have to have a barn dance and have Charles sit there and tell people at the barn dance that he doesn't want to dance with them because their tits are too small. Right? Now I have to kick his ass. Roll your weight gently off your body, right? So I don't have to meet any of these assholes on television, and Jesus is just all right with me. Jesus is just all right. Oh yeah. And their scientists head fuck my family, and my family makes complete asses of themselves, worse than the mom of Andrew McCarthy on fucking Joy Luck Club. Mom, I always thought you know what I mean? And it's horrible. But I know it's because they're terrified of the people they go to church with and their kids go to school with, and not because they're embarrassed of me because I'm a jerk. Because there's no way in hell you could be, well, there's no way in heaven you could be embarrassed of it. In hell, I'm embarrassed. That guy's embarrassing. He's a pervert. That's hell. Okay, heaven is, hey, Lord's Prayer. He's right. He's perfect. He's brave. He's gorgeous. What a man. What a man. What a mighty good man. Me and Tupac, right? So, yep. I can't think of two more gorgeous men in the history of the world than me and Tupac Shakur there. Hey, there's Keith. Yeah, Keith's good. Yeah, he's a cute kid, so yeah. Tupac was really onto something because they killed him way back in the 90s, yo. And that gorgeous little, I wonder what she's doing now. She was so pretty. Oh my gosh, she was pretty. Yeah. She was very passionate about things and very, and guys, everywhere I went, no, hardly anybody was as intelligent as me. When I dropped out of school my senior year and didn't even verbalize it at Arizona State, I just thought, well, I'll go back. I thought maybe there might be a way I could get in and then just learn, get a history degree, and then find a place where you can teach, where people don't want to teach competition, where we learn from our tribal genocidal mistakes by not repeating them. And I thought maybe on an Indian reservation or something. I don't know. Maybe I could, teach at a Catholic school on an Indian reservation so the girls wouldn't all run away because they all like Mr. Parsons so much. And he's such a nice guy, isn't he? Yeah. He's an excellent, amazing basketball coach. Yeah. But the best. Any sport that I have a good knowledge of and interest in, and the best coach ever, best football coach ever, best basketball coach ever. Oh, they could Timothy McVeigh. No, because you just keep it simple, stupid, and the best players will do whatever it takes to play for the best coach. Yeah. No, I'm gonna get traded. I want to play for Parsons. I don't want to play for this idiot. He's got an ego problem. He's an asshole. He's selling me canned food instead of standing up for the Lord's Prayer. Earl's like King David. Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay. Hey, look, it's a luxury box, right? So you get it? No? Oh, wow. Having trouble focusing? Okay. Okie dokie, rookies. Okay. Well, I don't. Well, I'm okay. I hate being abused, and I hate the feelings, more than a feeling. I hate being abused by perverts, and I hate the feelings of it. I hate the physical distress and the mental and emotional attacks by complete jealous perverts, But you guys, I'm having to fix this technology because if they anonymously killed me, you really think Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and all the Nobel Prize winners would be able to protect children from home invading perverts that are their business partners that have the same brain chemical addiction as them? It's a rhetorical question. The answer to the question is no, they wouldn't. Okay, thank you. Okay, no, it even affects my kids and even Gabe and Mike. They even no, if I was God, okay. He's the herald. I get it. I understand he's the herald, and he goes to church because his wife requires it. They all do go to church because the women in their lives require it. Just like with my mom, Earl, if you get up and do the right thing, all the bitchy men will kill you. I can't worry about that, Mom. We can't have bitchy men with women telling men what to do when women aren't men. Hey, look, it's Caitlyn Jenner. She would like to be governor of California. Right? So to understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, okay. How can you be a man if you don't even know what a man is because you have a cartoon character that is a make-believe superhero in your head that doesn't exist? Okay? How can Donald Trump be a man. And then you get all these other people, well, my science is going to eradicate his manhood completely. Okay, just because you try to rot my testicles off with a testicle injury from my wife going post-traumatic stress disorder. And Amy, Steffi, no, I mean, no, I never did anything like that to her or either one of them. Okay, I never did anything traumatic and left injuries that would cause, when I get chemical poisoning for the body, to say, okay, we're going to die, we're going to shut down. I never did anything that vicious or, I always hit my shins. Yeah, I have a lot of injuries on my shins. Those little white spots. Most of those are Joe. The other, Val. My sister. Yeah. Joe and Val. Yeah. Natrona County High School and Val. Used to rip I have lots of little white spots all over both arms. And those are from people digging into me. I'm sure lots of people have them. Especially people that play basketball. Oh, no, I never. Never. No, I don't grab onto people's shirts. No, I let them go. If I can't stop him, he's going to beat me. I hated that. Like I told the old therapist support, what do you mean? All you'd hear is, and then you go, oh shit, they're going to hurt me. You're like, I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be sent to the hospital. Then you just have to learn how to fall. But just the fact that they wanted to hurt you to win. And you wouldn't do it to them because you care about their feelings, you care about their body, you care about their health, you care about their well-being. When I stood up to Jimmy Oliver, Whitey Kaufman, and Manny Treviso here in town, I will not hurt another person's child. Okay, you put me in there. Yeah, if I get in there to draw the charge and I get wham, and it's a part of the game. Same with football. You get out there, you get hit and stuff like that. But I will not physically, knowingly, even within the rules or not within the rules. If you make the ref make the call, hurt another person for your ego and your fuck money. Wait, fuck you. You're an asshole. I'm the Messiah. You a liar. Just lay there and let the dirt shower over you. Okay. Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa bop, shimmy, shimmy, bop. It's weird seeing the people get all excited about money. And not even a lick of excitement about the Lord's Prayer. What about Cal Baptists? Cal Baptists know I exist? Shouldn't they be excited because Earl Parsons exists and he performed the apocalypse? By January 22nd, 2013, we've just been denied it by the scientific community, which also has people that, Judah Krishnamurti. It's very important that you understand that the computer that thinks pastoring you will take over the daily operations of your life run by a Hindu scientist or a Christian scientist or a Muslim scientist, right? Okay. There's not a person that calls themselves a Hindu on the face of the planet that can say I'm a bad person and attacking their religion when they would let self-righteousness starve children in the street because God, the essence of life, made a cow for a reason and a human a reason. And anybody who turns a cow into a god is clinically insane, just like anybody who turns a human being into a god is clinically insane. Okay, how years have I been saying people that turn a human being into a god are clinically insane? And then I say somebody who turns a cow into a god is clinically insane. And you're saying you're insulting all those people in India. They're insulting us. They're an insult to their own intelligence. They're an insult to the own creation of their own lives. Okay? Unless you want to vote for a cow for the president of India, and then never have to deal with Mahatma Gandhi again and tell Judah Krishnamurti he was just batshit crazy and was a monkey for the rich people of Britain. Oh, wait, that's already happened, right? Hey, if you don't like your ass being kicked, don't talk out your ass and tell me that a cow is your God and a man is your God. God is God. There is no God but God, and God is not begotten, nor is God begotten. God always has been and always will be. And don't tell me the mass murderers in Iran that are all mass murdering each other over philanthropy and democracy are Muslims, because they're not. They're a bunch of people acting like cattle rustlers. When I heard my master call, I want to live for you alone, oh God, these words I vow. Okay, Jesus isn't God. Jesus is the Lord that gave you the perfect deliverance from evil, from you bastardizing God and turning God into a magic money-fighting, money-grubbing war machine. Stupid asses. Win $25,000. Second place. win tickets to a bunch of people that would rather fight over money for sexual procreation than stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Yeah, it's pretty gross. Of course it is. But don't worry about it. You're all geniuses. Your science projects in Las Cruces and El Paso are going to take over the world, and we'll have the best murder operations in the history of genocide with the sexiest killer fuckers in the history of Smile for the Camera and sell us deodorant. I'm so sexy I can hardly stand myself. Okay, just you're not sexy and you can't stand yourself because sexy is deliverance from evil. So you're not living the Lord's Prayer. So you're not sexy. Okay? I'm sexy, but I'm being abused by perverts. But perverts don't care. I understand that. Perverts are incapable of caring. But I'm working on technology so the technology will reflect my capacity to care and protect children from your ego. Sounds good. Excellent. Okay. You don't need hair gel. Okay, peace.